Hello, it's Jay Frank again with this week's Talk with the GM. I'm here in the Lorms room as we get ready for Boots and Bourbon, and we're going to talk with Jim and Mateus and the team a little bit about the bourbons and whiskeys that we have in a few moments. But I want to remind members that we have a lot of great events, not only in the rest of November with Thanksgiving next week, but also the holiday wine dinner coming up in December, and a lot of openings still left for members that may want to book that holiday party here at the club. So make sure you get a hold of Amanda Greenwood or Philadelphia Hewitt. We'll get you set up with a great holiday event. Next week, of course, Thanksgiving buffets to dine in, or you can take it home. So whatever you want to do, make sure you get a hold of us. There's still some seating spaces available. Ryan's running a little golf tournament on Black Friday along with the sale down in the golf shop. Hopefully the weather will hold out for us. So if you want to participate in that, get a hold of Ryan. But stay tuned, just a few moments. We'll be back with Jim and Mateus to talk a little bit about what's going on in here. And then maybe we'll sneak over to the bar and see what's new and exciting in the bar.
Hello everybody, it's Jim Creighton, your food and beverage director here at the club. We're just about to kick off Boots and Bourbon, and for that, Mateus decided that we should add a lot of new bourbons to our permanent bourbon list, and we have some really exciting ones to talk about. I'll turn it over to him to introduce the new items in our lineup.
Hi, well, we have some really nice bourbons here, some of the best ones we have. I'll save some of these two for the end, but Tom Branch is one of my personal favorites. It's one of the more smoother bourbons you go to. It won't have as much of that bourbon flavor, but it'll be really smooth and you won't need much ice with that one. This one is made in Hudson's Baby Bourbon. It's made with very small batches, and they don't like selling anything in large quantities. As you can tell, this tiny little bottle, but it's really smooth and a great bourbon for your glass. Then we have our Four Roses. We've expanded our Four Roses, and now from just instead of having Jim Beam being our whiskey, we're actually going to use Four Roses Yellow Label, which is personally, I think everyone can agree, a much better bourbon, and that will be in every single drink you get. So that's great. And we also have their two levels up, their small batch and their single barrel. Single barrel is already going, as you can see. And then we have our 10-year-old Michter's, which in my personal opinion is the best bourbon I've ever had. It's also a good favorite of all the members. It is a fantastic bourbon. It has a lot of flavor. And then we'll go to this Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea. They actually take barrels of bourbon and go out into the international waters and age them at sea. It's a really fascinating story. But this is probably our highest end bourbon of the new ones, and it is fantastic itself.
Well, great, guys. In talking about bourbons, I'm not much of a bourbon drinker, but these are just sipping bourbons. Do you mix them with things, or do most people just drink these straight, on the rocks or straight up?
I'd say any of these bourbons would be great on their own. Incidentally, this Town and Branch is also made by Lexington, which is the same company that makes our Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale, which we have on tap in the shock room. But any of these are so smooth, easy drinking. You can have a neat on the rocks, and you can mix them with whatever you want, but they are made for sipping.
Wonderful. Well, let's sneak over for just 2 minutes and see what's new over at the Grill Bar. I know we have a couple of new things over there that Jim wants to talk about.
Very exciting.
Thanks, Mateus, for your knowledge of all the bourbons, and good luck with Boots and Bourbon tonight.
Sounds great.
And we just hopped over to the main grill bar where I wanted to show you a couple of really fun additions to the beer rail here. The Christmas Ale from Great Lakes Brewing Company has replaced the Oktoberfest. We still do have the Founders, and really great for the season is the Breckenridge Vanilla Porter. But the one we're super excited about is the CCC 3-Putt IPA from Two Tones. Mr. Matt Kopp, a member here, has a great relationship with them. They are just around the corner here in Whitehall. You know, he hooked us up with the relationship with Two Tones, and we talked for a long time about what we wanted it to be. They made us this beautiful custom tap handle with the club logo on it, and it's a beautiful IPA. I think it's honestly the best IPA that we have now in the house. It's a perfect balance of citrus and hops, and you have to come in and try it right away.
Perfect. Jim, what would it be great with? What kind of entrees would be good to have that IPA with?
Why don't I turn it over to you? What do you think?
Well, a lot of our burgers are really good for that. A lot of our the barbecue platter is really good for that. I would say that.
Absolutely.
I would say the Reuben sandwich is my favorite sandwich we have, and now it's fantastic with an IPA. that Russian dressing and that corned beef, which works really well with that.
Especially the time of year. You sit down with a nice juicy burger, which we already know are the best in town, and you slap down an IPA right next to you, and you're going to leave happy. And that's the job that we do here. Whatever you do when you come in, we want you leaving happier than you were when you got here.
All right, thanks guys, and we'll look forward to more coming from Food and Beverage.